Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I'm doing my July update for Deck of Panning. This is a game on YouTube created by the wonderful Emily and Max. And what it is a rendition of a TBR game from a BookTube channel, Books with Maddie, that Emily has created for the beauty space. And you use a deck of cards and some prompts that Emily shuffles every single month, and it's just super fun. So I hope that you're here for it. If you are, please keep on watching. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna, the lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry as a field leader for Ulta Beauty, so I get a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you that education here, but ultimately I'm just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup, and I hope that you're here for it. And if you are, let's do that. Let's just talk about some makeup. All right, so today we're doing the update for Deck of Panning. This is a project that runs from January to December of the current year, and that way you get a full month off. It's the 20th of every single month that we do an update, and I'm a little early this month because I do my videos on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I just want to make sure that it gets gone up when it should get gone up. I don't know if that's proper English, but yeah, it is a really fun game, Deck of Panning game created by Emily. And if you don't know anything about it, I have linked all the information down in my description box for you, along with some other creators that do it. But if you do know something about it, you're probably not going to want me to drone on and on and on about the rules of the game. So let's just get started and going through the products. This is a project that I have going on my channel that's about usage goals. The other project pans that I have going on my channel, one being a project pan that is a completionist project pan, and one being turn and burn that is all about deluxe size samples, and size samples are completion projects, but this one is a usage goal project, and I have a very exciting update again, which is also a little bit scary because we have the card that shall not be mentioned that is in the deck that is willing to use, or that is ready to use. But I do have a get out of jail free card that I haven't used yet that I rolled in at the very beginning of the year. So we will see how this goes. So let's talk about the products that I rolled in. And I have products from April and May that are still existing in this project. So first and foremost is the King of Hearts that I rolled in April that was for Hit a Pan. And for that, I brought in my palette that has been along for many a journey with me over the last couple years. Last year, it was my quasi pan that palette. It lived in my project pan all year long just to see what kind of damage I could do. And as it was in that project pan, I did see a couple of pans in these shades here and then this pan here, but didn't get anywhere near panning this palette. This time I brought it in for the Hit a Pan, and I wanted to hit a pan in this shade here, which is Pixie, and I think you can see I did do that. I concentrated on the very inner corner of this shade right here so that I could get just dig in, right? And I was able to hit a little tiny small itty bitty baby pan in this shade. It's not a shade that I wear a whole hell of a lot, so it was actually quite difficult for me to use, but I did get it done. I wore it a lot as an inner corner highlight. I also wore it a lot as a topper over the lid shade on the inner portion of the corner that I was utilizing. I also honestly wore it a lot as a, like, just put my finger into it and dab it on my cheeks as like a blush topper because I thought it worked well for that. But I was able to hit a pan in this palette, and I hit that pan in 22 uses by the 1st of June. So I'm really excited about that. I think last time we updated, I had only used it 14 times. So it took me an additional 8 times to be able to hit that pan, but I'm really excited about it. So this is a palette in my collection that now has 4 pans in it. And when I look at the menagerie of palettes that I have in my collection, this is the only one that has a pan and any of the eyeshadows in it. So it's definitely a used and abused palette, and I'm just really happy to see that pan. So this will be rolling out of this project this month. The rest of the products that I have were rolled in May. I rolled in the 2 of Diamonds in May, which was an eyeshadow. And for that, I did roll in the Milk eyeshadow stick by NYX. And I wanted to utilize this 15 times. And I actually hit that 15 use goal on the 11th of June, but I continue to utilize it. It is on my inner corners today. It's been a brow bone highlight for me multiple times and an inner corner highlight for me multiple times. So this also will roll out of this project, and I'm not sure that there is any difference in the size of the product since I rolled it in, because this isn't a completionist project. I don't really take weights, and I don't really like showcase it on like a tracker of any kind. I have sharpened it, I think, once in the last 30 days. So it has seen at least one sharpen. So that one will also be rolling out. The next one I rolled in was the 9 of Hearts, which was favorite color. And for favorite color, I did roll in, my favorite color is green. I'm not sure about it on my head, but I do love this haircut, and I do love the menagerie of colors in this hair. But my favorite color is green, and most specifically chartreuse. And so I did roll in my MAC pigment in chartreuse, and the goal with this one is to use it 10 times, and I am currently at 4. So I still have 6 more uses of this. It's a really hard color, honestly, to wear when you have purple and pink hair. So I do think that we'll be able to see a little bit more of a usage happening over the next several weeks with this one, because I now have green hair. It will go with almost anything I pair it with, because it will go with my hair. I really love this pigment. I really love the like intensity of this pigment, and I have no problem using that pigment. It was just really rough to put into an eye look because I haven't been really focusing on those shades. I do anticipate that changing with the color of my hair this time. I mean, I look at my purple eye look and I'm like, was this the right choice? I don't really care. I love matching my eye look with my hair, but sometimes you just can't. So there's that. The next one I had was the Queen of Spades. And for Queen of Spades, it was pick your space, but it had to be within the suit that you had pulled. So it was a spade. I picked the 9 of Spades, and the 9 of Spades was travel size. And for travel size, I did pull out the Benefit Professional Super Setter in its travel size form. And the goal with this was to empty, and I think that you can hear, oh, there's a little bit left, but it is not enough. It's just spitting at me right now. It is empty. There is no usage that I can get out of it anymore. So we did complete this product. I did utilize it. I do utilize it every single time I go out of town, and I travel a lot for my job. So I only had 12 more uses on this before I was able to roll it out, and that happened by the 3rd of June. So was able to roll that out. And then the last thing I have on here is the 4 of Clubs, and this was foundation. Now this is a foundation that I had rolled in the previous month for this time last year, and then when I rolled foundation, I just elected to put it in again because I'm so close to finishing this, and I did guarantee myself at least 10 more uses with this this product, but I did use it an additional 15, 16 times, but I hit those 10 uses on the 5th of June. So I've used it 6 more times since hitting the usage goal that I had on it, and this is where we're at now. But this is truly a foundation that I absolutely love. I think it looks fantastic on my skin. So I will just probably keep on using this foundation until I'm able to finish it in my collection. But for purposes of Deck of Panning, it is also a product that I was able to utilize to the extent that I wanted to utilize it in. So it will be leaving also this project. So if you're keeping tabs, we are again at 4 items that are rolling out of this project and 1 that is staying in. So we are pulling 4 new cards. Again, this is exciting, but it is also scary because I have a bigger opportunity to pull the card that shall not be named into this, and we all don't want the card that shall not be named. So let's talk about it. We're going to pull some new cards, which means I need my deck of cards in here. Again, I do have my ace, which is a get out of jail free card, which I pulled at the very beginning of this year. And I am searching for my joker right now in the deck because it is right here. The joker is an Are You Joking Me product, and it is a product you really don't want to pan. Maybe it's not necessarily about hate panning. Maybe it's a product that you love, that you don't want to see leave your collection, or a product that you're going to pan and you're going to give yourself a really, really long time in that panning journey with that product. So like 50, 100 uses, whatever it is. That card never changes, and the face cards never change. So Jack, Queen, King, Ace never change. They're typically the yin and yang of each other for the most part. For instance, the red ace is a pickup 2, and the black ace is a get out of jail free card. The red jack is a cream or liquid product, and the black jack is a powder product. The queen red is pick your space, and the black queen is also pick your space. So regardless of what queen you get to pick a space, but it has to be within the suit of that queen card. And then the red king is hit a pan, and the black queen is has a pan. So those don't change. The ones that do change, the prompts that do change, are the 2 through 10 of every single suit. And Emily generates that every single month with new prompts. Sometimes you will end up getting the same prompt that you got last month, but it is likely not the same number because they are shuffled. So with that said, we are going to shuffle the cards, and I am going to show you the 2 through 10 game board right now, and we will talk about it. However, I typically do not talk about the cards that I am wanting to get or not wanting to get, because I find that I jinx myself every single time. So let's look at the game board while I shuffle these cards. Well, there's some new ones on here though that I wouldn't mind getting because I haven't had them before. I mean, even if I have had them, I guess it really doesn't matter because you can pick a different product, right? Broken. I'm not sure. Do I have anything that's... I mean, I guess I do have something that's broken in my collection, but I'd have to think really hard on that one. Because I typically, when packaging is broken, I typically don't keep it around, or I package it. A couple of these I've had before. I mean, this is my second year playing this game, so of course I've probably had them before. So these are the cards. I usually cut the deck and shuffle one last time before I pull. All right, so the first 4 cards off the top are our new cards. Let's pull them and then we'll talk about them. We have the 5 of Hearts, the 6 of Hearts, the 2 of Clubs. I have a little bit of a glare. And the 2 of Diamonds. Okay. Listen, We didn't get it. Again, I'm excited. Okay, so the Two of Diamonds is a bronzer. That's exciting. I don't think I've pulled a bronzer into a project yet this year. The Two of Clubs is favorite color. So we already have one item in here still that is a favorite color item. So now we're going to have two. The Six of Hearts is collecting cobwebs. So this is an item that you have in your collection that you haven't used in a very, very long time, if I remember correctly. And then the Five of Hearts, which is a chopping block item, or an item that you don't know that you want anymore, which will be rough because I just did a collection and declutter. All right, I'm going to think about these. I will be right back. Okay. I didn't take as long as I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be hours, but it hasn't been. The hardest part for me, honestly, was the chopping block and the collecting cobwebs, because I think both of them can kind of fall into the same place. But we're going to start with the Two of Diamonds, which was a bronzer. And for that, I am bringing in this guy here. This is the LYS No Limits matte bronzer in the shade Motivate, which is, when I purchased it, was the lightest shade. And I do think that it's been a long time since I've used this bronzer, but I think mostly because it's really, really orange, and I have gone back and forth with whether I want to keep this or not because of just how light and orange it is. So I thought I'd bring it in here. We're going to see if we can use it 10 times. That is going to be the goal, and we'll go from there. I mean, I have a lot of bronzers right now currently in rotation in my Shop My Stash, my everyday makeup drawer. So I do think that 10 times, especially if it's a bronzer that I'm not really loving, will take a minute to get through. But again, this is about usage for me, not necessarily about finishing up a product. And I think in 10 times use, I can really figure out if it's a bronzer that I want to keep in my collection or no. For the second two that we had, the Two of Clubs being favorite color, I am bringing in a green eyeliner. I think it'll match my hair really well. I also think it'll be a good like offset to this chartreuse pigment that I have, and I really love the LA Girl Shockwave neon eyeliners. So, and this one just hasn't seen the usage that the other eyeliners in my collection have. As a matter of fact, I think it's maybe been sharpened one time, maybe. So the goal on this is to get down to the letters here. I don't know how much use that's going to take. But I do anticipate it is going to be quite some time before I'm able to roll this out because, again, it is a green eyeliner. I do not wear green every day, although I do anticipate green is going to be something that I'm wearing maybe a lot during the summer because of my hair color. I don't typically wear it every single day, so I do think that it'll be in for a minute, and the goal is going to be to get to the top, to sharpen it to the top of that line. And I don't just sharpen to sharpen, to be honest. The Five of Hearts was a chopping block item. So for the chopping block, I did choose a palette that is still rather newer in my collection when I think of all the palettes in my collection. This one is, I mean, I have some really old palettes, let's be honest. But it is a palette that I purchased because I was so excited about the Urban Decay Electric, and I used it so much, and this was supposed to be the sister palette to it. It actually has a couple of other shades in it that the Urban Decay Electric palette also had in it, and it's just a palette that I just don't love. I just don't love it at all. I think it's kind of ho-hum. I think that there is a lot to be desired in the formulation of these shadows, but I continue to keep it around because of my love for the electric palette and because it is the newer version of the electric palette in my collection, and I'm terrified to some extent to put the electric palette on my eyes. However, I had one of you comment on the fact that you are still wearing your electric palette, so I'm like, maybe I should be still wearing mine. Is it okay? We will see, but I do have this. What is going on with my hair right now? I do have this listed as a palette in my collection that I could potentially let go of. So this is going to be in this for No Pan Left Behind. But I do want to use every single shade in here at least 2 times. That is the goal. And then the number 6 of hearts here was collecting cobwebs. And for collecting cobwebs, I am bringing in the counterpart. I may regret this. I want to use each one of the shades in this palette 1 time. And I'm saying that because I am truly fearful of this being on my eyes again. But I think that, you know, I take really great care of my products. I don't keep them in a moist environment. They are in their own room. Like, I sanitize my stuff after each use. I do think that, including my brushes, I do think that this is a palette that is probably perfectly fine. But I just want 1-time use out of each one of these shades to see if this is still a palette that I should be using or if I should put it into my memory box, because regardless, this palette will stay in my life. It just will become part of my memory box instead, because this palette, for those of you who have been around, is the palette that is the catalyst of my YouTube channel. Like, I probably would not be here today if it was not for this palette. It is also a palette that really spawned some friendships that I have here on the space. And it's just a palette I have really fond memories of. So regardless of whether it does bother my eyes or not, it will, and whether I do declutter it or not, at the end of the day, I do want to use this one on my eyes, each shade 1 time for the collecting cobwebs prompt. So maybe it should switch. Here's what we'll do. We'll actually switch these. So this will be the chopping block product, because if it bothers my eyes and if I don't think it performs the same way, this will be decluttered from my collection and go into my memory box. This one, if I don't love it, it will move to a chopping block item in my collection, but I likely won't declutter it. So 2 times use out of each shade on this one, 1 times use out of each shade on this one. There we go. So we have, I'm also like, listen, I want to get some usage out of my palettes this year. That's why I started the No Pan Left Behind as well. So I'm really excited to be pulling 2 palettes into this. These 5 items are what we have going in our deck of panning this month. And I'm so excited about the goals that I have set forth. And I hope that you are too. So let me know if you are doing deck of panning. I already watch a ton of you every single time you upload, but I would be interested to hear from you if you are doing deck of panning and you know I'm not watching you. I typically go through the playlist, so if you're on the playlist, I'm typically watching you, but sometimes it takes forever to get through that playlist because there are so many of us playing these days. I am really excited to hear your progress in your products, so let me know if you are a creator that does this project, if I'm not watching you, to come and watch you, or, you know, just put down in the comment section, I play too, because then I will be able to say, oh yeah, I watch you also, or I will be able to go to your channel and watch your video for the first time. I'd be excited to do that. But with that said, I hope you all are doing so well. I hope that summer has hit and you are all enjoying the sunshine and the heat. I am not in Western Washington. It is not yet hot. It is still raining all the time. But yeah, just super excited to come to you with my update for this week. Also super excited that we haven't had the card that shall not be named yet, and I've probably just jinxed myself, but thank you guys so much for watching me today. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. I hope that you are all well. I hope that you are safe and healthy and getting along as best you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, and just hope that you are all being kind humans, because that is what this world needs. And I know that I have the best viewers on the planet. So thank you guys so much. And until next time, bye friends.